G'day, Peter Kimball from Howard Bowman. So candidate 9, I don't know how this one ended up in the mix, but basically, it looks like they're still at uni. They're wanting to get an undergraduate role. Retail business while they're at high school. So, like, if you're an undergraduate or graduate, all this sort of stuff, like where you've been working in customer service and all that sort of stuff, put it on your CV. Like, it's really valuable experience. And like, it's not basically, as a hiring manager, you just want to know that you're not going to be the first person to tell someone that they shouldn't do it that way, or there's a better way of doing it, or whatever, because the perception, for better or worse, the perception of people coming, recent graduates is if they haven't worked in a business before, they've never been told no. Like, a lot of the time they haven't been told no, and so it can be a bit of a shock to the system. And so, like, if I'm recruiting a grad role, and if I'm recruiting it for Howard Bowman, or if I'm recruiting it for a business that we're recruiting for, then I want someone who's worked at a fast food place. I want someone who has played some form of competitive sport, somebody who has learnt a skill, who has demonstrated that they've learnt a skill, and that they've stuck at that, learning that skill for several years. Because, if you're going to invest the time in someone to train them, etc., then you want to get a return on that investment, okay? Like, it's not like you want them to stay for the rest of their lives or anything like that, but like, if you're a small business owner and you're looking to hire a graduate, you want to know that if you spend 10 hours a week for 3 months or whatever training this person, getting them up to speed, like, that's if you're a partner of an accounting firm, that's $5,000 in billings, basically, for that time. So there needs to be a payoff, right? So this person looks like they're a good graduate. I'm sure they'll be able to get a job. They've worked in retail for several years. I think there'll be plenty of people that are interested in principal. It's just going to come down to what they're actually after. But overall, my recommendation for somebody in this situation would be to get if they're still at uni, to get a 2 to 3 day a week job with a 1 to 3 partner accounting firm, or try and get a cadet role with a mid-tier firm. So the difference between the two is, like, if you get a cadet role with a mid-tier firm, you basically, you do uni part-time and finish and work full-time. Whereas if you do it the other way, you do uni full-time and you just work 2 or 3 days a week for a small firm, you get a bit of experience. Like, I do think that someone coming through a cadetship at like a William Buck or something like that for 3 years, they're going to be very good, and that 3 years experience is worth money. Like, it means that as soon as if they want to move to another business or get promoted or whatever, then they're basically a senior and they've finished uni, and they haven't finished uni yet. So they'll have heaps of choices. Whereas the person working at 2 to 3 days a week at a small firm, they'd be viewed as an experienced graduate they probably know a bit about accounting. And so the question is, like, are you better off? Which one, like, in the short term or medium term, with which option? Because like, if you have to go to uni for an extra year, like, what's that actually cost you in terms of lost revenue, like money, etc. So there are things to consider. But two choices: either 2 or 3 days a week in a small firm, or try and get a role as a cadet in a serious mid-tier kind of thing. But that would be my general advice for this person. That if they want to get into commerce, like, if they've got decent academics, decent grades, then they should be able to get a job. Well, not should be, but applying to grad rotation programs for like large corporates is probably not a bad idea. But if they're still at uni and just working 2 or 3 days a week in an accounting firm is like, it's valuable, okay? Like, it's more valuable to you than pouring pints or whatever somewhere, or selling clothes or something, like, in terms of your long-term career options. But overall, I think this person looks like a decent a grad, like I'm sure they'll be able to get a job, and yeah, it's just always really hard to know. It just depends on what they're looking for. But yeah, hopefully you got something out of that. Yeah, thanks for watching.